High key versus low key. Color grading comes in different styles. If you look at Hollywood, some films have a high key look like comedies. The picture is bright and the colors are well saturated, and this looks usually works with comedies. Other films have a darker look like horror films with deeper shadows and more of a harsh look. Now, this is high key versus low key color grading. Let's take a look here. This is our original image. I graded the image in two different ways, high key and low key. These two versions here are coming from the same source file. They were just graded in different ways. Notice how we are getting entirely different feelings and different looks from the same image, simply through different ways of color grading. Now I'm going to turn off a split screen, and we're going to try to grade the same image in two different ways again. The first concept that you need to understand is the gamma differences. In high key images, we usually increase the gamma, which means that we pull the gamma upward by pulling this slider to the right. In low key images, we pull the slider to the left, reducing the gamma. Let's look for a base frame here. I like this one. And the first thing I'm going to do is to take this slider and pull it to the left. You can see the image getting darker. Yeah. Now, this is still a bit saturated. Once we are in a dark situation, our eyes become more tuned to luma values rather than color values. So the darker our environment, the less sensitive to color we are. And as long as we're trying to get a darker image here, one of the first things we have to do is to reduce overall saturation. We push the gamma down. Now we have to push the lift down to go with the gamma. I'm going to come to the lift control here, hover the mouse over the slider, and use the scroll wheel to push it down. Yes. I'm going to add a new node and give the shadows a cooler look by pulling the shadows towards blue. And I'm going to go to gain and pull gain more towards yellow. In order to add to the low key look here, we have to bring down this part of the image because it's competing for the attention. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to nodes, add a serial node, bring a new window, place the window on the right side, scale it properly and just feather it. And now I am going to bring the gamma of the new window down. So I'm going to hover over the gamma, just bring it down a notch, not too much for it to be visible. Okay, let's hide the window by pressing none, and this is our final look. I'm going to right click here, local versions, create a new version, and this will be version 4. Now reset. And now for the high key image. High key images are usually more saturated. So I'm going to start by adding saturation to the image and reducing the lift to add more contrast. Now, the more I reduce the lift, or basically reduce the shadows of the image, you notice that the gamma is being affected at the moment. Just take a look at this part of the image. The more I push the lift down, we're actually affecting the gamma. So, in order to balance the image again, I'm going to have to increase the gamma a bit. So now I'm going to pull the gamma to the right. I'm increasing the midtones. Let's push the shadows down again. And this is good. Now, let's add a new node to add more saturation. Notice here that if I just increase the saturation in the image, weird things are starting to happen. The red is getting really saturated, up to a point where it's just making the whole image look bad. So what we're going to do, we're going to go back to curves, if you remember, and I'm going to hue versus saturation. So I'm going to select a certain hue here, which is red. I'm going to click here. Now I've selected red. This is my red, and these are the 2 points that are here to prevent me from changing the saturation of the rest of the image. And I'm going to pull red down. So I desaturated the reds in the image without affecting the rest of the colors. Just increase it a bit. Yeah, this is a good look. I'm going to add one more node and increase the gamma again. Push the lift down. We're starting to get some weird artifacts here because of the codec. So we'll go back to the previous node. Then we'll go back to curves and we'll reduce this a bit. Yeah, great. Okay. So I'm going to right click here and create a new version, and this will be version 5. Now, right click, split screen, on and off. These are both the low key versions that I created originally and the one we created together. And this is the high key, and this is our current image now. Let's go and reset it. Color, reset all grades and nodes. Yeah, this is our original image. So this is high key versus low key, which is very important when you're working on a project to understand what are your client looking for.